So what kind of kicked off you wanting to start Oath Keepers? Was there a moment?
Yeah, because it was at when I was a student at Yale Law School, I wrote a paper on enemy combatant status being applied to American citizens. You know, that's the idea that if you're labeled a terrorist, that the president can now put you in a category that you would normally reserve for a foreign enemy in wartime. In the war on terror, the doctrine came out that, well, if you're accused of being a terrorist, you no longer get right to a jury, no longer get a civilian trial. You're now put in this category of a military enemy in the laws of war. You can be tried by a military tribunal, held in military brig. And did that to two American citizens. One was Yasser Hamdi, the other one was Jose Padilla, both Americans accused of aiding Al-Qaeda. So, but you know, the mere accusation alone strips away all your rights.
Right.
That just, it was obviously not right. So I went back and looked at the treason clause in Article 3. That's what you do with an American accused of making war on his own country or aiding the enemy in wartime. It requires extra protections to witnesses to the same overt act or confession in open court. Because the founders knew what it was like. They were accused of being traitors, right?
Right.
So they knew what it was like to have that taint put on you. They wanted extra protections. But, you know, politicians and judges being what they are, you know, in the Civil War, Lincoln, in a desire to have less restraint on his ability to punish Northerners he thought were sympathetic in helping the South, they just ignored the treason clause, and he held people in military detention. You know, way beyond, everyone knows about the habeas suspension, but then Congress, he suspended habeas corpus, and then Congress passed a habeas suspension statute, and it said he could hold him for 30 days. At the end of 30 days, he has to either indict or release. That's what they passed. Well, Lincoln ignored that. He held people way beyond 30 days.
Oh, yeah.
And he used the excuse that, well, they're enemies in wartime, so therefore I can hold them as prisoners of war.
Yeah.
And I can try them in military tribunal.
And what happened to a lot of those people during that time?
Well, some of them, about 15,000 were tried by military tribunal. 15,000 were held in the North without trial,
Right.
indefinitely for years, and about 5,000 were tried by military tribunal.